managing editor of the host of Roland Martin Unfiltered, member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, the one and only Roland Martin. Hey, Roland, what up, boy?
What's going on, Doc? How you doing?
Man, hey, Roland, I know you got so much to talk about. I ain't gonna even start with you today, man. Democracy. Let's start with democracy at stake.
I think every person listening, especially every black person, they need to understand what is on the other side of hell. And if you understand, and I broke this down in my book, White Fear, how the browning of America is making white folks lose their mind. And that's what's going on right now. These folks are pissed off with 2020. They are ticked off that Obama had 8 years. And what they want to put into place will unleash against us. And it's a lot of black folks. I've been dealing with these fools on Twitter. I've been dealing with them on other platforms talking about, but, we need this and we need that. First of all, I've had folks coming at me talking about what we haven't gotten. Democrats haven't done this. Well, first of all, if you black, this is the lowest you've ever had a number of black people who are uninsured as a result of the Affordable Care Act. That didn't happen because of Republicans. HBCUs did not get $6 billion in the last 2 years because of Republicans. When you talk about the student loan debt, talk about forgiving up to $10,000, $20,000 with grants, black folks would be disproportionately impacted. Who's against that? Republicans. If the Democrats lose control of the House, all that's gone. That's gone. Congressman Bobby Scott of the Education and Labor Committee, that he is not the one who is sitting there in charge of that. You don't have Congresswoman Maxine Waters, who is chairing the Financial Services Committee, dealing with redlining in these banks and holding them accountable. We're talking about David Scott out of Georgia is the first black to be the chair of the Agriculture Committee. Now you're talking about what's not going to be happening with black farmers. And so I need people who sit here and complain all day saying we haven't gotten this, we haven't gotten that, to understand there have been a number of things that black folks have gotten. But what do you think is going to happen when they're in charge, when they won't even return our phone calls, or they won't even say black? And so they want to steal elections. They are running people not only as governor, as secretary of state, but also the boards of elections. They are already trying to invalidate black voters, challenging black voters in Pennsylvania, in Georgia, and all across the country. And so folk who say, well, this stuff don't matter, then, we survived slavery. No, your ass didn't survive slavery. The folk before you did. Some of these folks can't even survive not having their phone to be on social media for an hour. And so what we need to understand is that this is a critical election. And if you want something, you got to vote, and you then, after the election, got to hold them accountable to give you what you voted for.
Right. You got something? Go ahead.
Roland, I've been watching you talking about this since your book came out, and man, you are so on point, and so many people need to hear. I wish some of your rants were mandatory listening for high school students, because I think voting rights and the rollback of civil rights is one thing that a lot of us don't understand with the change of Democratic leadership to Republican leadership. Can you speak on the voting rights and the civil rights that we're looking to lose?
And they are specifically targeting young people. You have voting clerks, who are moving early voting locations off of college campuses, saying, hey, it's too many young people voting. Them students down at Prairie View A&M been fighting with Roland County for decades. And this is real simple. If the vote does not matter, why in the hell would they be trying so hard to keep us from actually doing it? And so then you look at Gary Chambers just dropped a video a couple of days ago about early voting in Louisiana. And I need my black folks in Louisiana to say, man, look, what are y'all doing? There are 900,000 registered black people in Louisiana, yet only 10% voted during early voting. Just 10%. Right. Senator John Kennedy won last time with 536,000 votes. If just 55% of black people in Louisiana alone, if just 55% of black people vote, and let's say 20% of white folks voted for Gary, guess what? Kennedy loses. I need us to understand we literally have power. I was just in Texas on Thursday and Friday with the Communication Workers for America. 8.8% of the early vote in Texas was black. If black people comprise 12 to 15% of all turnout, guess what? We win across the board. Statewide, Beto is governor. Got lieutenant governor. You got the sister who's running for attorney general. We win. We can go state by state. North Carolina, if black folks turn out and vote our numbers, Sherry Beasley, a sister, is the next U.S. senator from North Carolina. If black people in Milwaukee vote the way we should, Mandela Barnes become U.S. senator. If black people in Pennsylvania vote the way we should. Now, I know somebody's saying, man, here you, and I get those silly Negroes, oh, you out here sitting here talking about, oh, we should be supporting Democrats. Well, let's see here. Which party voted to cap insulin for Big Mama at $35?
Right.
Democrats.
That's right.
Who voted against capping insulin? Republicans. When the black folks were gunned down in Buffalo, who voted for the bill to sanction white supremacists in America? Democrats did. The bill was sponsored by Jamal Bowman, congressman from New York. Who voted against that bill? Republicans. See, I ain't never identified as a Democrat or Republican. What I have done is look at who votes for stuff that we want as black people and who votes against stuff. And there is nothing this MAGA Republican Party has done that would make me even consider voting for any of them. Anybody black who's sitting there on the fence and you dancing around. Oh, and by the way, black men and others in Georgia, they talking about what Brian Kemp has done for black businesses. Let me be real clear. Black businesses in Georgia have received less than 1% of all state contracts.